I wanted to see where physically all of these Bible stories took place. I mean, that was very interesting to think that this is not just a matter of fairy tales. I mean, there was an actual physical place where this took place. So I wanted to go see, and that was certainly fascinating to see. And by the way, I think it's wonderful that part of our Christian tradition does not require us to take physical control of these so-called holy places, because obviously that would set up a three-way eternal battle for land. Thank goodness we had this concept, at least the Catholic Church had the concept of the holy city is something up above, and so it's not necessary that we actually have Jerusalem. They got off the route a little bit during the Crusades, but got back to the idea. Anyway, it was fascinating to see, but it in no means made my faith deeper. It was just, no, this is very interesting.
Religion has dominated the world. It screws up the world. Like, we're all biologically pretty much the same, and yet people get into this fundamental belief: my religion is the only religion, and your religion is, I can't tolerate your religion, therefore I have to be against you. And this is just crazy to me. I mean, if there is a God, why would he or she be into all this kind of stuff? It doesn't make any sense. We live in a multicultural society. We ought to, and everybody has a stomach, and everybody has eyes, and assuming that they're normal. Why is it that we have to go through this ridiculousness of religion determining our political views towards other people? And all the wars we fight over. Look at all the stuff, the Taliban, all the fanatical. Forget all this stuff. We're all just human beings living on this planet for however long, and frankly, it may not be much longer.
Well,
that's why I don't fight. Religion has not added one iota of anything.
And I assume, by the way, that your little casual comment about how much longer refers to 3 or 4 millenniums.
Oh, about 74 million years.
Okay.
Yeah, not exactly. But I mean, if the scientists are right, that the planet comes and goes and all this stuff. Oh, so we're just running around here creating. So it's like it's something to do.
And I'd like something to look forward to.
Well, see,
and you're kind of raining on my parade. Well, because I was looking forward to the holy city of Jerusalem.
It isn't anybody. It's all over. This is it. Your backyard is it. Enjoy it.
The reason you say that, so we're all human beings, but maybe that just simply means that we're all animals, and therefore this notion of dividing up is, in fact, a tribal impulse that all animals have, and that's the reason that we can't help ourselves. We band together based upon what our eyes tell us, so that our white skin tells us that we're the same, and anybody that doesn't have white skin is different. And even though I don't want to think that, I feel any closer to you because of that, my mind tells me that, but my primordial urge is to band together.
Band to the one that I look similar to. It could be that. I don't know what those things are. Granted, my values in life probably come from the religious doctrine that was transmitted into the codified into laws in this country. Don't kill, don't steal, don't have adultery, that kind of stuff. I don't doubt that at all. But I think they could have come up with that without religion. Society would have been rather chaotic because they're primitive tribes that have those kinds of rules, and they don't have necessarily a religion like ours. It just helps things to function better. Everything in life would get rather chaotic, and then you just can't do that.
By the way, those primitive tribes would have been a lot better if they found Christ a long time ago.
Turn this thing off. We're going to get in all kinds of trouble here.
Is this a 20-minute tape that automatically ends after 6 minutes?
You've been strangely quiet here.
No, I mean, I'm trying to think. really in agreement that it doesn't. I think I would be a good person, as I understand it, within the world I live in. Religion doesn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
It really doesn't at all. I mean, I think we should treat each other in a way that I believe in, advancement of humanity and each other, and but I don't. It's not a connection for me between religion and that. I'm not doing it to avoid going to hell or something like that. And I think I went for a long time to the Episcopal Church, and I know you have long involvement, and one of the criticisms of it, of course, is they've moved away from any of the literal interpretations or the traditional way, and I don't know whether they formally believe that you're going to purgatory or what happens, but anyway, none of that motivates me. But I'm aware, the difficulty is I live in this wonderful place, Now I'll think sometimes, okay, well, what if you really lived in sub-Sahara region or something, and you were,
good point.
enslaved and eating sand, and just the whole thing.
Well,
was terrible. How would you look at things? Probably religion. I doubt the religion has any real importance even there. It's kind of survival, one group over another.
Speaking of a wonderful place, I still see the deer running around over there. He's
feasting on some food?
Yes, well, the lush grass, which he doesn't understand is heavily toxic because of all of the fertilizer we put on it to make it lush. But
Could become a bionic deer. Oh dear.
Well, I've always thought that God has a sense of humor, and so I think that in my next life, which, by the way, I think
you think you're gonna have a next life?
Well, I won't be aware of it, but my molecules, my little subatomic particles, will all come back together. Well, actually, no, they won't. But they'll all become a part of all kinds of other things. Anyway, because he or she has a sense of humor, this has been a wonderful life, living in the wealthiest country, living in the wealthiest city, living in being in the top 1/10 of 1% of the world's population. So next time I will, I'm sure, be a blind 9-year-old Guatemalan girl who.
You hear that down there in Guatemala?
Yeah, but you see, your karma may be such that this is like the next to the ultimate step, and it's actually going to be more wonderful the next time around.
Yeah, and that's in the unlikely event that religion's got it right.
Do you remember your past lives at all?
No, I do not.
Yeah,
I do not. Does your wife remember her past lives?
Who freaking cares?
Well,
this part definitely has to be trimmed out then. Of course she doesn't watch.
You can make anything up you want. You can say anything, and there are lots of people who will follow you and do anything that you say. I mean, there are just people who are that way. Even people who have a great deal of education, they'll get hooked onto these kinds of things. I've seen very bright people go into this past life stuff and all this. Fine, if that's comforting to them, fine.
And it's something to look forward to.
If they want to look forward to it, fine. I don't have any. Everybody does what they kind of need to do, but no, I don't want them stealing from me or beating up my wife or myself or anything like that. But do I have a lot of control over that? I can take preventive measures that may retard that, but I can't ultimately stop that if that's what their intention is. What can I possibly? I'm not going to have a gun in my house. And